This illustration here shows us a very typical problem, which is when compositing, oftentimes we'll get a fringe around the edges of our object. In this case, there's this fringe around the edge of the star, causing a black glow around the yellow glow. If your nonlinear editor or motion graphics application supports fixing pre-multiplied alpha channels, you would tell it that this star was pre-multiplied with black, and it would extract that. However, what you generally want to do in Photoshop is create a clean graphic. So if we go ahead and load that selection there, you see we have the star selection with the glow. And by putting that yellow star over a yellow background, there you have it. The star will cut cleanly, and you get no fringe around the outside edge. In doing so, you will get results as such. Let's turn that channel off. Nice, clean compositing. So, the way around that is to always put the same color behind your glow or drop shadow. Let's try that on an image. Here I have a lower third, and I've applied a black drop shadow to the image. If I were to save this as is, there's a good chance that Photoshop would put white into the transparent pixel area here, and then when we keyed this, it would lighten our drop shadows by making them gray at the edges. Let's go ahead and change this here into a proper lower third that has an embedded alpha channel. I'm going to go ahead and call up the Actions palette, and I'll load the Video Actions. And right up at the top is Alpha Channel from Visible Layers. Let's just go ahead and click that and press play. It says it's going to make an alpha channel. That's great. We'll cover these more later on in the book. And it's done. Now, you may not have seen anything happen, but if we look at the Channels palette, you'll see that there is indeed an alpha channel. Now, at this point, I would look at the image and determine what the soft color is for the glow, or shadow. In this case, it's black. So my best recommendation is to go ahead and add a solid color layer, picking a color that matches, such as the black, and then let's place this at the bottom of the layer stack. The keyboard shortcut for that is Shift or Control left bracket. It moves it all the way down. Now, without, and you're going to get some problems there with the alpha channel. It'll be pre-multiplied with white. But if I put the black back there, it'll give me nice, clean drop shadows, and that will key much better in the nonlinear editor or motion graphics system. One important technique if you need to create an alpha channel is the use of the calculations command. And here I have an image shot against a blue sky. This technique is essentially a way to key. So if you have an object that's against a solid color, maybe you did a product shot or you just shot a sky, this is a great way to extract that object. I can choose Image Calculations to launch it, but first let's take a look at the individual channels. Let's go ahead and make our thumbnails bigger under Palette Options. Good. We can see the red, green, and blue channels. And what I want to determine is the two channels that have the greatest difference from each other. In my opinion, that is the red channel and the blue channel. Notice how the sky is very dark in the red channel. That's because there's very little presence of red in the blue sky. But under the blue, the sky is very light. However, the buildings are opposite. So this way, I see sufficient contrast between these two channels. Let's calculate a new fourth channel, or alpha channel. Image Calculations. And what I need to essentially do is tell it to take two channels and combine them. Go ahead and take the red channel and combine it with the blue channel. And now we just need to try different blending modes. I step through the list looking for a combination that works. And it is a little bit of trial and error. You're not going to know which one is going to make a perfect. But as I step through, I'll eventually see different options. And that's getting better, but it's still not quite right. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and invert the channel and step back through my list. And notice I'm getting a very clean sky, and what I'm looking for, there we have it. The building now is very easy to see, as is the sky. Let's see if color dodge does any better. That's a little bit better. I say go ahead and create a new channel, and I click OK. Now, for those of you who thought I didn't know what I was doing there, well, that's true. I wasn't sure which combination was going to warrant the best result. You see, every image and color detail is going to be slightly different. So the key there is to not be afraid to experiment. Take the two highest contrasting channels and try combining them with blending modes. If that doesn't work or give you a high enough contrast matte, simply invert one of the channels. Now we have this alpha channel, we just need to clean it up. I can press Command or Control L for levels, the alpha channel selected, and if I pull in the black slider, notice how the sky goes towards a clean black, and that creates a nice clean edge. I could pull the white slider in to go ahead and fix the church here, hit OK, and at this point I have a perfect edge. There it is. If I want to see it applied to the image, simply Command or Control click on the thumbnail, turn the alpha channel off. You can come back to the layers, double click to make that a layer, call it tower, and apply the layer mask by clicking the Add Layer Mask button. And there you have it. The image has been extracted from its background.